everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star, and today we're going to be doing part 1 of a series I'll be doing on Plush. So I want to show you guys all of the plush that sold in the first quarter of 2022 on our eBay platform. But to keep the videos from being too long or taking up too much of your time, I'm going to divide these into 3. So we'll do January, February, and March. Part 1, 2, and 3 for Q1. So I got all of the plush up here that sold in January. And we'll start with this dandy Easter bunny. So this sold for $14.99. He was 50 cents cost. And he was first class to ship. He's only 7 inches, not very big. Dandy is a pretty good brand to look for. A lot of Dandy is going to be your bread and butter plush, but some of it can be very expensive and comp pretty high. If you're willing to do filler or bread and butter plush, if you have the room to store them and you don't mind doing a lot of volume on your store, then I always tell folks, if you find them for under $1, grab them all, grab all the Dandy you can find. If you're more looking for stuff that is going to be, a certain price point or higher, whether it's 15, 20 or whatever, and you are limited on space, because plush takes up a lot of room and they are very, very long tail. This is one of the slowest selling categories on eBay. Then you're going to want to comp them before you get them when you're outsourcing. But Dandy is definitely a brand to look for. Next up, we have this gunned Wiggly Pig. And that is what his tag says. His name is Wiggly. He's a Wiggly Pig. He's cute. He was also 50 cents. He sold on a best offer of $10.99, and he shipped first class. Next up, we have this Peekaboo Toys Bright Eyes Raccoon. This actually came in a wholesale box of plush I bought, and he was about $1. This isn't something I normally would have picked up. I know that some of the Peekaboo branded stuffed animals or plush do really well, but he is really unique. So if I ever saw a unique raccoon like this again, whether it was Peekaboo or another brand, I would probably pick it up. This one's pink and purple. And it sold for $17 on a best offer, shipped first class. Then we have this Disney Beauty and the Beast. This is Chip, the teacup from Beauty and the Beast, the child one. I got this, I think, back in Pittsburgh for 50 cents at the Goodwill. And so it's been around for a long time. And normally I would not put anything Disney or Beauty and the Beast or any name of a character or Nickelodeon or anything like that if it didn't have tags to prove it, just to avoid a VRO or, being told to take my item down for copyright infringement. So normally if I have a plush that doesn't actually have a branded tag on it, you want to be super, super careful with like Minecraft and Pokemon. Make sure Minecraft has the Mojang, because people do get suspended for that all the time. You want to be careful because you want to avoid being suspended or getting a VRO. But this guy's obviously Chip. So I was comfortable saying that this was Disney Beauty and the Beast and that it was Chip, because clearly there's no other character that looks like that. So he sold for $13.12, shipped first class. Next up, we have this Valentine's Day turtle, just a generic branded plush, but with the right keywords, you can sell any plush, even generic ones, for the same price as you can sell a bread and butter plush of brand names. So I put Valentine's Day in the front. Remember, your titles always want to go most important to least as far as keywords go. And I wanted Valentine's Day up front so that this would sell hopefully around Valentine's Day, which it did. He sold for $12.18. He came out of a lot. He was 50 cents. He shipped first class. Next up, we have a Bulldog puppy hand puppet. This was in a box we got for free. So someone threw in a bunch of plush with some clothing and other items we bought in a lot. He sold for $12 on a best offer, shipped first class. Kid Connection unicorn. This, I remember having it in Pittsburgh and I believe it came from a Goodwill and was 50 cents. Unfortunately, down here in Florida, I haven't found that many plush to begin with, but I definitely haven't seen any 50-cent pens in any of the thrift stores. I do miss that, but yeah, she was pretty heavy, so I did have shipping on her. So she sold for $14.99, and then the buyer paid for priority shipping, and she went in a box because she is an electronic plush. And by the way, this is just a Walmart brand, but even Walmart brands can sell for good money, especially if they are no longer available at the stores. Next up, we have a Beanie Buddies Penelope Penguin. So with the Beanie Buddies, they're hit or miss. There's some that are like this penguin who sold for $7 on the best offer just to get rid of them. And there's some that are mid-grade bread and butter, and some are worth a lot more. The glitter eyes usually make them more valuable, but it really depends on the character and which plush you have. So you want to check the comps. He was 50 cents, so I took the gamble. This is a Secret Life of Pets, Norman the Guinea Pig. So this is something that normally I probably wouldn't source just because it's so small and it's going to go for such a little amount. Maybe I would if it was like in a bag at a thrift store. You know, sometimes they'll have those grab bags full of plush. If it was like a quarter or 25 cents, if it was part of a lot or something, I would list it because it weighed next to nothing. But I wouldn't pay more than like 25 cents or have it as part of a lot because it only sold for $9.99. He was free. He was on that box of free plush we got. So I actually did take a best offer of $7 on him just to get him out the door. Of course, he was first class. He's very small. Very cute. Next up, we have a singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So when you turn him on, he does this little sidestep dance and he sings. Super cute Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You can see here he's a licensed character. He did sell on a best offer of $19 plus the buyer paid shipping because he did weigh over 2 pounds. The buyer paid for priority shipping. And so he shipped in a box. This dinosaur is from Toys R Us, and he came from the Goodwill, 50 cents. He sold on a best offer of $15, 1.5, and the buyer also paid shipping. It's a very large dinosaur, very big, and he weighed a lot because of his size, so I did put calculated shipping on him as well. Toys R Us is something I always pick up when I find it. This is another example of a generic plush with no brand that I just crammed full of keywords, good ones in the title, and it sold for a best offer of $12. This came in a lot. I think he was about 50 cents, and he shipped first class. Then we have this Hannah Zuki full of treasures. This was in the box, the free plush that we got, so I was willing to list it. Take a best offer of $8.49, shipped first class. Just pure profit because the items were free to us. Speaking of Pokemon, here is Delibird. This is a Tomy, which is a good brand of Pokemon. However, Delibird is not a very popular character, so he didn't comp that high. But usually your Tomys are going to comp higher, especially if you have popular characters. I did take a best offer of $12.50. He was in a mystery lot of plush that I bought, I want to say back in maybe even in 2020. Longtime viewers, you may remember watching Robert and I open the mystery lots of plush on each other's channels. So he's been around for quite some time. I believe we had figured out the average cost of each plush in that lot was like $1. Again, he's not a very popular character. Popular characters from Pokemon go for a lot more and they sell really fast. They go really quickly. And then we have a vintage Russ. Hold on, let me speak English. A vintage Russ Snowman. It's hard to say. So vintage Russ is something I always pick up. I find that they do really well. They usually comp pretty high, especially if they're vintage stuffed animals that are holiday themed, whether it's Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter. If they're characters and they're actually named, like this Snowden, they do really well. And let me show you guys what a vintage tag looks like. So it says Russ Berry and Company usually, and then they will have, they often have dates on the back. This one didn't, but usually they'll have a date on the back. But that is definitely different than today's tags. You can tell it looks different. So that's what a vintage Russ Berry looks like. And often I didn't with him because I didn't have enough room in the title. But if I have a vintage Russ plush, I will put vintage Russ Berry. And then the year, of course, if it's on the tush tag, I add at the end of the title. So this Snowden was out of the box of free plush, believe it or not, that we were given as a bonus to some clothing we bought. And I did take a best offer of 18 on him. And he shipped first class. So those are all of the plush that we sold in the month of January. So let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about any of the plush you've seen here or any other plush questions. And don't forget to join our Facebook group. It's called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. It's a very plush-centric group full of really great resellers that sell all kinds of stuff, though. And you could also find us on Instagram. We're at Flippin' Hippos. Until next time, go be productive. Go make some money. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Y'all are the best. Bye.